Okay, welcome back to KC's Beer Room. I'm KC. This is KC's Bar, and this is the Great Australian Winter Beer Series. And coming up on tonight's show, we've got a beer from a brewery that doesn't exist and not much else. We got all that coming up on the Big Beer Show.
Yeah, step into KC's where the vibe is live. Craft beer flowing, yeah, we thrive. Ales and lagers got styles galore. Every sip's a journey, always wanting more. The center hops hit you as you walk in. A flavor explosion where the fun begins. Chilling with the crew, laughter fills the air. In this beer room, there's magic everywhere. KC's Beer Room, home for the connoisseur. Smells like beer, but it's so much more. Crafted with passion. Every drop's a gem in this hobby paradise. I'm right at home.
So coming up on tonight, we're going to be drinking a beer that I never really buy. I see it in Dan Murphy's all the time, Uncle Bam's. It's from that Zytho Brewing, which isn't really a brewery. It's made by Tribe Breweries, I believe, which is owned by Pinnacle Group, or Pinnacle Drinks, which is owned by Endeavour Group, who own such places as Uncle Bam's and whatever else they own. But that's what we're going to be drinking. We're going to be drinking a Velvet Luxe Stout. Let's put the beer goggles on. We'll get the can out. It's a whopping 6 placentas in this 375ml can. Velvet Luxe Stout. Give you a read of what it says on the back of the can. They're not an independent brewer, of course, but Zytho Brewing was inspired by the term Zythophile, meaning a person who loves all things beer. Zytho Brewing Velvet Luxe Stout is like a take on this classic old school style, plush, luscious, and smoother than melted chocolate on a lycra jumpsuit. Dim the lights. Kick your shoes off and sink in. Brewed by Zythophiles for Zythophiles. Well, I'll be the judge of that. I'm sure I've had a Zytho beer before. I don't know. It seems like I did, but I don't know if I did. Like I said in the intro, I'm not really sure whether I've had one. But anyway, that's what we're going to be drinking. Zytho is not a brewery. It is a nothing. And they used to call it something. The Velvet Lice, I heard. Anyway, let's crack it open and get it in to the glass. Let's get a good head happening there. So, bit of sad news this week. Everyone probably knows about the Lily Hooper going missing down there in the Nadai National Park, been missing for 8 days. An old workmate of mine who was friends with the family, so he was posting stuff on Facebook and trying to get people to keep her in their thoughts, in the prayers that they find her. And unfortunately, they did find her yesterday, and she was deceased. But the most troubling thing about all this is how the media and how the police dealt with after they had recovered her or found her. It is pretty disgusting the way that this all came out, that they got the code wrong and that she was found alive, and then the family were told that she was alive, jubilation, and then 18 minutes later they were told that she had passed. Utterly heartbreaking. I couldn't think of anything worse. They couldn't get any worse, and they made it worse. So my prayers and thoughts are with her family, her friends, and all the volunteers and searchers and the community there in Oakdale, where she was from. And hopefully they can learn from this tragedy. But anyway, we'll get on to the beer. As you can see, it is a black beer. I can see a little bit of light coming through that. We'll bring it around so you can have a close-up look. We'll zoom in. There is a little bit of orange coming through. There's the can. Zytho Brewing Velvet Luxe Stout 375ml can. You can pause if you want to read what I read before. And there's the beer in the glass. Slight little bit of tinge of orange, black with a bit of a tan head. Looks pretty good in the glass. Anyway, I digress. Or do I? Anyway, let's just top that up. Get it all in there. A little bit left. Anyway, we'll finish that off. In for the snatcheroony. Unless I've got nasal problems, I can't smell anything. I can't, maybe just the faintest little bit of chocolate. I can't even smell any roastiness, malt. I can't smell anything. It doesn't smell like anything, so that's not going to be good for the taste, I don't think. Anyway, that's the snatch. Let's get it down the hatch. Taste a little bit can liner-ish. Bit of can liner. Yeah, there's not even, I don't know. It's lacking. There's not much chocolate. There's not much coffee. Little bit of earthiness from the roasted malts. I tried to research what sort of malts or hops they use. Couldn't find anything. So I would be gathering they'd be using some dark malts, maybe a bit of light malt, maybe a bit of hops they might be using, like East Kent Golding, I think it is, or I don't know, something like that. That's what AI told me anyway. If I said I put in there, if I wanted to make this beer, the Zytho Brewery Velvet Luxe Stout, it said something about Gladfield. That must be a type of malt you can buy. Home brewers would know that. Yeah, and East Kent Goldings, I should say. Well, I always get that wrong. Anyway, like they say, it's velvet. It's got an okay mouthfeel. It's a little bit carbonated. It's not that creamy. You want it to be creamy. Stout should be creamy and not much carbonation. But this, to me, too much carbonation and not enough creaminess. It is leaving a nice lacing there. That's probably due to the glass, not the beer. Look, I paid $17.99, I think, for a 4-pack. That's if you were an Uncle Bam's member. My final words on this beer, I'd say don't waste your time. I'd rather drink an Australian Guinness than a Zytho Brewing Velvet Luxe Stout, which I get it because it's made by Pinnacle Drinks there down at Goulburn. They make 500 million, was it 500 million or 500,000 litres of beer? That's what they can make at any time of the day. 500,000 maybe, I don't know, you look it up. It was 5 something, might only be 50 litres, I don't fucking know. Anyway, I wouldn't buy it. I won't buy it again. I wouldn't give it to anyone. It's probably just a fridge filler, even though I've drank all 4 already. So it's not a fridge filler. It's not even good for filling your fridge. But anyway, that's the show tonight. That's a bit of a disappointing beer. It's the winter beer series. How much longer have we got in winter? Oh, we've got a couple more weeks. So hopefully we can find a good beer. a good winter Australian beer. This wasn't. This was a flop. That was shit. Oh, I still had beer in that. Anyway, that's tonight's show. I'm KC. You'll get there, and you better send it. Smell's still not there. Still nothing. Anyway,